Small Town Minds.
All right. Welcome to Small Town Minds, a podcast about anything, everything, and nothing from two guys from a small town in Tennessee. Right. What's going on?
Uh, Not much, not much. I think as of this recording, we're going to be getting an Arctic blast tomorrow.
Yay.
To
Yay, fun.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the last little bit of moderate weather today. So winter is coming. So
Yeah, yeah. It's not Chicago weather, but it's still pretty rough.
fair, fair.
Especially when you get older. When you get older. I don't like it. Not
Yeah,
not a fan of the cold. Probably going to be a if what we've got so far, because we've already gotten snow where I'm at,
yeah,
so it could be a indicator of a bad weather. We'll see.
yeah.
Not that we're the farmer's almanac over here.
They
Uh,
cancel that?
I don't think so. Did they?
That may have been a news story we missed. I could have swore they were getting rid of the Farmer's Almanac. I,
I think
they're
I,
get
I did read something about that, but then I thought it might have been false. I'm not sure. Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm sure there's people that still like that stuff. So maybe it's still around. True? False?
According to this, is being discontinued with the 2026 edition being the final print issue.
Oh, wow.
So,
All right.
and its website shutting down. Uh, this month, December of 2025. So,
Wow. Okay.
uh,
End of an era. End of an era.
end of an era. Yeah,
Yeah. We talked about last podcast about that. Not that many farmers left, original
yeah.
actual farmers. So I guess there's maybe not that big of a need for it anymore. All right. Let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about Suno.
Suno.
Suno, the big thing, AI music generated software. We have been using this like crazy these
Obsessed.
last obsessed, as Matt says. We have been obsessed making different songs and stuff on here. Um, it's really fun. It's really addictive, especially because we both have created music over the years, had lyrics and stuff, and so to be able to sort of remake those in this new format is pretty fun to do. A lot of pushback, a lot of feedback, a lot of people not on board. You got the same thing there. You got the same experiences. A lot of people going, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of anti AI, and as we were kind of kicking around before we clicked record. Like, I get it, but and I'll kind of get a little deeper into what I was saying. Like, AI in general, it's been a topic on this podcast since probably episode 1, if I remember right. But there's another instance where at work, I've got a little Gemini, the AI plugin for the Chrome browser, and I've used it a couple of times when working on a spreadsheet. I'm like, hey, how do you make this formula? And it's like, oh, here you go, copy and paste. Those little things to me, as much as people are anti-AI, you got to play around with it. You got to, like, a lot was said about the internet 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
A lot of people were kind of didn't know what it was, and we still don't know what AI is. And I'm kind of getting off in the weeds, but my point is, I told you this Suno stuff has kind of got some of my creative juices flowing, because I'm hearing some songs that I wrote, that I composed. I've got recordings of I've had in my head for 15 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm hearing them totally different. And as we were talking about, as I'm sure you'll get into, some of that is good, really fucking good, in fact. And some of it is, yeah, okay, it's stupid AI. So, um, so I understand why people are anti AI, because it's not perfect yet, but as we talked about, it's not that far away. And this Suno thing is, as you said, really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is fun. The same with you. It was with me. You know, I have lyrics that we played some in some bands years ago, many, many years ago. I think I said on a podcast before, I hadn't really been in bands in 20 something years. So, um, all these lyrics are just in a book that I wrote and self-published, you know, that's just been sitting there collecting dust for years. So to crack open this book and start bringing life to these songs again is pretty fun. And like you said, it really is bringing to life this new sort of version of these things that I hadn't really thought about in years. I mean, a lot of these songs I haven't even looked at to, you know, much less tried to work on in any way. It's not perfect. It's you don't just put your lyrics in there and get voila instantly what you want. I mean, you do have
Yeah.
to work with it. You do have to produce it in your own way. You have to,
Yeah.
as with you use chord progressions. I use more like styles and like instruments and like what I want done with the lyrics and
Yeah.
just sort of just like you know detailed account of kind of try to get it to where I want it. But like there's just different formats, but you have to just kind of keep tweaking at it till you get it close to what you want. Sometimes it surprises you and it's pretty good. Sometimes it's wild and it's nowhere near anything you would totally ever want to listen to. But it is a work in progress. But let's talk about this now. All these people that say, "Oh, AI, yeah." Look, I see it. I see it with everything. You know,
Yeah.
my kids give me shit about it. They don't like AI. You know, there's so many people. I talk to musicians and stuff. They're like, "Oh, it's over, huh? It's over. This is over." Well, you know, um, and I go, "Well, but you know, it's like when the acoustic guitar became an electric guitar, the acoustic guitar didn't die. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
uh, when we when we traded that for samples and samples started happening, you know, real. I mean, all this stuff didn't die, and I don't think this is the killer of music at all in any format. Is it oversaturation going to be? Of course it is. Yes, but we already had that with the advent of the internet anyway. Let's be realistic. You know, you could list about probably 50 people that are popular in some way or another musically, and I wouldn't know one of them. You know, because you know different formats, different
Yeah.
avenues, different ways that they have become famous or you know have a following or whatever. And that's you know that's a low baller. I mean, there's millions probably. I mean, so it's just another way. But it's a way for people who aren't they don't have a band. They aren't maybe some people aren't even musically inclined like myself. I'm not a musician. We talked about that, but I wrote a lot of lyrics. Like I know how to structure stuff. But like you know people so you know. But here's the thing about it though. But let me ask you: isn't it just the hubris of these people? Isn't it a little bit sort of the I'm gifted. You're taking the gift away from me, kind of thing, to a degree. Look, I understand that the creativity is what it is, and and I've also been around with a lot of freaking musicians who think that they are gods. Okay, let's be realistic. So when you get somebody who's you know had this talent their whole life, and then somebody comes along, you know, that's just speaking into a freaking a phone and creating something as good, if not
Yeah.
better. I mean, I can see how you get a little pissed about that.
It- yeah. For sure. There is that side to it where it does take it is magic, and it takes all the hard work, the dedication, the time and effort, whatever you want to say. But I think it's all in what you do with it. Like, I still want to figure out how to have me sing or me play and accompany that with a piece that I put in there, something to that effect. I think there's an avenue where AI becomes almost like Pro Tools. And I
Yeah.
mean, like Pro Tools came on the scene. Everybody and their uncle was using it. It was the new thing. You could do different shit, different. We've been away from the time, the day and age of. I've read stories about Zeppelin. I'm pretty sure it was Zeppelin. They would point their amps at different parts of the recording studio in these rooms. Obviously, they had to have good acoustics to get different uh, types of sounds. Pink Floyd used the actual a cash register for money and little things like that. Now, snap of the finger, you can have whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's an opportunity with AI to like give these, as you said, if you don't have a band, you can tell AI, okay, here's my chords, here's what I've got, and then feed that into it, and it puts shit with it, and then you're like, okay, hang on, I don't like the bass there. Let's try a different bass, and just really open it up. As I said, to a Pro Tools except on steroids. And I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. Because Pro Tools, to your point, and things like that didn't kill real creativity, real art. I mean, this is still a form of art, no matter how much people want to say it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you do probably just throw in a prompt about, write a song about sheep or something, like
Yeah.
that's probably okay. But if you're actually, I would argue, if you're actually tweaking this stuff, if you're actually filtering it down and really refining it, I think there is an art form to it. And it is new. It is a new frontier, a new type of art. Now,
Well, actually, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
okay, fair.
Question: do you know when AI was created?
Uh, I've seen a couple of things. There was something in the 80s, I want to say, where it was a program that predicted numbers or something like that. But I want to think they've been working on it since the 50s or 60s. I've seen a couple different
Correct.
things.
Correct. 1956 is when
Yeah,
AI was created. Do you know when AI was incorporated into music?
I do not.
The 1990s
Okay.
with auto tune and stuff like that. Little fixes of pitches and perfections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in the 2000s to 2010s, it got incorporated into it immensely. And what I'm telling you is this, and all these people, these naysayers against the AI, you have been listening to AI for a while.
Yeah.
And you
Fair.
didn't know
Yeah.
it. You didn't know it. Now, here's what, and a lot of musicians use Suno or other programs like it now, but they've been using it for a long time. Studios have been using it longer than we have. It's now on the consumer level. It used to be on the studio level. So you didn't know anything about this, but this has been going on for a long time. And this is why most songs sound the same. Okay?
Valid
Uh,
point.
so all these people that are crying about it, guess what? You're wrong because you've been listening to it. If you're listening to today's country, any of it, you're listening to AI. Sorry, but
Yeah.
you are. Now, is all of it AI? Now, here's the thing about the way that could be tweaked. Now, does it mean that AI has created the whole entire thing and it's just packaged to you, kind of like the way some of us are doing it with this, or some people do it? No, not necessarily. But you could do it this way. You can either give it give AI kind of what you want, and then it just comes up with it, and then you take like you have the lyrics, you have the structure of the song, and then it just expands on it, and then you take your band, and then you play that, and you create the song like that, or they can actually take the stems, they can take the actual like strip it down from instrument to instrument and use some of it in the song, or and I've seen this, a lot of people say, oh, I can write music, but I don't know how to write lyrics. throw it in the AI, it writes the lyrics for you. Boom, you got a song. Or I don't know how to sing it. I can write lyrics, I don't know how to sing it exactly. Boom, throw it in there. Now you know how to sing the song. This has been going on for a long time, just not on this level that everybody was able to do it.
Yeah.
So now it's just a level playing. It's just a level playing field now for everybody, And that's the thing is, and a lot of people don't like that. And I get it, but like I said, I don't really think it's going to totally impact the music business other than saturation. But we get the same thing with movies and all that stuff too. We've got saturation of movies has been totally inundated in the last 10 to 15 years, but especially like the last 10. But look at it like this, when you're watching most of the movies, when you're watching a Marvel movie, when you're watching most of the movies today, are you watching a real movie? No, you're watching CGI.
Yeah.
Majority of it is CGI. Now, was there pushback against CGI? Was there pushback but going from film to digital? I mean, of course there was. Of course they're saying that's not pure, that's not. But it's going to happen because it's easier, and we're all about easy, convenience, and what is cost efficient and effective. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just easier to do with AI. It's easier to help produce it or write lyrics or formulate some part of it or tweak it or pitch perfect it or whatever it is that you're doing. It's just easier to do it that way. And it's just something that, again, people just haven't noticed it, but it's there. So I feel like, it's fun. I do think it's a good tool. So I look forward to it. Like, again, I haven't really, kind of like you, I haven't been tweaking, working on lyrics at all. I'm actually thinking about writing some new stuff. I haven't written anything in probably 20 years.
The very first song, Doom Scroll that I sent you, that I wrote the second half of that, just a fever pitch. Like I had half of it, kind of was tinkering around on the keyboard, was like, okay, this melody, I kind of had a rough melody, and then bam, okay, and okay, feed that into the AIC. And so yeah, I'm right there with you. I've got some other little scribblets of lyrics that I've been going through old notebooks. I'm like, oh man, I could. So as I said it, yeah, I agree. It's got my creative juices flowing again, because it's just for for an older for an older millennial, Gen Xer, whatever. The middle-aged dads, it's fucking perfect. We have no time to do jack shit, so this is just
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
it's a fun little artistic conduit. So
yeah, and not only is it fun to do, but it also gives you ability to get it out there. Now I've already released a song on this platform called DistroKid, which is pretty cool. So I released this song, Destroy Myself by Tuesday. That's on it's on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music and whatever else that's out there. Now I want to tell you a little bit about that name, the band name, which I spent like 0 minutes coming up with. Sweet Convulsions with a K. Now you probably don't know the story. Maybe you do. Tell me if you do. But I used to play with your brother back in the day, a long time ago, and we had a band called Succumb, right?
Yep.
Well, it wasn't called Succumb. That was not the original name. We didn't have a name for a long time, and so we came up with like a list of like titles and stuff. So the title that we came up with was Sweet. I came up with. Well, I'll tell you the story. I had one on my list, Sweet Convulsions, and Joy was like, "Yeah, oh, that sounds good. Let's do that. We'll call it Sweet Convulsions." So we were calling ourselves Sweet Convulsions with a C. All right. But back then, back in those days, I was reading magazines. I was reading like Hum magazine and CMJ and all this stuff, all these music magazines and all that stuff. And I guess I'd read one and it subliminally leaked in my head, but I did not recall it. So I was going through it again one day, and I saw there was a band in there named Sweet Convulsion. And I was like, oh shit! So I was thinking, oh shit, we can't use this. We can't use this name. So I was like, well, frick. It was that. I think that's when we changed it to Succumb. So um, when I was thinking about putting this song out, I was like, well, what can I use? I don't know what to use. So I thought, well, whatever happened to that name? Because I was like, you don't not hear of that. So I guess what that was is there was some band in the early '90s, maybe put out like an EP. It was like some industrial thing. I don't think they did anything else after that. Nothing else. So like when I looked on Spotify, I couldn't even find them on there.
Hmm.
And I thought about just using it, but I thought, well, I don't, just in case they're still around, I don't want
Yeah.
to mess with it. So I was like, I'll just change it. And this is also a way to pay homage to Succumb because it was like SUKKOM. So this is sweet convulsions with a K. So that's kind of a way to pay homage to that as well. So that's what that name came from. Sweet convulsions.
I did not know that story. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it's hard to think of a name that somebody doesn't have.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have a name just like anybody else. But I did maybe throw up a couple of ideas before that. But like literally anything you can think of almost is gonna already be taken by a band. Whether they're a band that put out a song that nobody ever heard of, or a band that that maybe played a few shows and isn't playing anymore or whatever. But
Yeah.
they're out there. So, and that's the same thing with like movie titles. I run into that all the time trying to make a new movie title. I have something in my head. I go, oh, it's already on IMDb. Ugh, and only if like I have to do it. Like Brimstone. When I did Brimstone, I was like, well, I can't call anything else, but there is already a Western called Brimstone. I'm like, nothing like this. But there's a few times I've done that, but most of the time I'll change the title because I don't want it to be exact.
Right.
But, yeah, man, Suno, go check it out. Check it out. All right, let's get into some other stuff. Netflix wins the bid for WB, but then there's all this controversy about it, the whole conglomeration of everything, and now Paramount double backs and does a bigger bid, but the whole thing is up in the air. Trump is weighing in on it because, of course, he is. Where do we stand with this? What's the either one of them is a conglomerate, right? So if either one of them buys this, I mean, they're still monopolizing things. So what's the win-win here?
And just to add to that, as we get into this, and I meant to send it in our group chat, and I completely spaced. I did see an article. I didn't read into it to get into the nitty-gritty details, but I did see an article, something about Peacock and Paramount potentially merging, which in my head, I'm like, let's NBC Universal and CBS parent. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know how much truth there was to that, but it is. I don't even. TV's a mess. Family Guy had a little skit. It's probably been 10 years ago, maybe 18 years ago, and it was all these different people talking about these different shows on these made-up streaming services, and all like, have you seen this? It's the best show ever. Blah 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 blah. And that I remember that quote, and it said, I can't even remember what it was advertising. It may have been like their parody of Netflix or something, but it was like, TV's a mess. And that has always stuck with me because it still rings true. So if Netflix goes through with buying it, you're looking at a network, streaming service, whatever you want to call it, that would have Stranger Things, Lord of the Rings films, Harry Potter films, Game of Thrones, K-pop Demon Hunters,
all of DC,
all of DC, major franchises like that, and I'm sure we're missing some. But
all the horror franchises, The Conjuring, all those, there's the Final Destination, all of them.
So, what is Netflix now? $20-30 a month if you do that whole ad-free deal.
Yeah.
So
Ad free is a little cheaper, but yeah. Or no, I'm sorry, with ads is a little cheaper,
yeah,
but ad free is about that's where it is. So that's going to go up exponentially, right? When if this
yeah,
happens, obviously,
yeah.
you're going to
So
probably double, I would say.
yeah, I mean, and granted, yeah, you're getting all of that on one thing, but still, I mean, it's not everything. So you're going to be paying 30 to 40 bucks, I would imagine, for one service, and you've got a large chunk of stuff, but you still don't have everything. So
Right, right.
I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And the Paramount piece of it is interesting. Uh, I don't know. The first thing I thought of was South Park because they were on Paramount for a good chunk of time. Had that whole thing. And or wait a minute. They were on HBO Max.
They're on
I'm sorry, I
HBO.
had it backwards.
They were licensed, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
They were licensed
they
to
were on.
Paramount or something like that. Like
They were
there was some kind of deal because Paramount was supposed to produce movies of South Park and they actually
yeah,
sued them. Do you remember that?
yep.
Yeah.
But they were on HBO, and then they went to Paramount, and now I'm like, this is just full circle for them. But
Yeah.
no, I don't know, man. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, streaming in general. Like, I don't know. I know why VPNs have become so popular because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
shit.
Well, I mean, look, that's the way it was. I mean, this they're shooting themselves in their own foot because that the reason that streaming service even became such a thing was because people said, okay, well, you know what? I'll pay a few bucks a month to get a
Yeah,
lot of this stuff. Because, look, yeah, I'm not going to go over here and do what I was doing. I'll just pay the money. It's not that big of a stretch. But when you're literally doling out 40, 50, $60 a month, maybe 100 if you're getting everything,
yeah,
that's a little costly, for content um, that you're probably not watching as much as you think you are anyway. you know that so it's like yeah, I can see it becoming more and more of a thing for VPN, a win for VPN maybe. So if Netflix if Netflix gets it, I mean, well, first of all, physical media, they're not a big fan of physical media. They're not
yep,
at all. They released a few things, and it's so sparse. They released like the first season of Stranger Things, and only the first season. Then they released Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Hill House, but and a few other things, but there's just not that many that they release.
right.
So they don't care about that sort of stuff. Even like if you wanted to own it on digital, same thing. They have a few, not very many that they do that there. So they really want you on that service, getting that monthly subscription, yearly subscription to Netflix. So if that goes away for all those, I mean, it's not good for physical media. Now, if Paramount gets it, Paramount is they still do physical media. They're obviously still into that game pretty big. So I don't think anything would change on that front. But I feel like, especially with these new people that took over Paramount, I feel like they definitely fall in line with this political agendas that we have today. And I don't think that HBO is known for that, so that might be.
Yep.
It feels like a little bit of a compare and contrast there. I could be wrong, but somewhat. I mean, I know they have South Park and stuff, and some things on Paramount that are definitely adversaries of it, but not everything.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert had one of the best things. I don't know if you've seen this, but when the story broke about Paramount going all in, I think that broke on Monday, and I think it was on that show on that Monday. He said, I'm paraphrasing here, but like, I'm getting canceled, but you have this kind of money to
Yeah.
go buy Warner
Yeah.
Brothers. So, yeah.
Well, we knew it wasn't about money anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, time will tell on that one, but so it's interesting. It's interesting that
Yeah.
it's interesting that they can't obviously be successful because again, Warner Brothers had a great year as far as movies at the box office. So I guess everything else just isn't working, or maybe hadn't been working for a while, and they're just in debt. But um, yeah, so if you can't make that work, I mean, we're looking at probably ending up with three. I would say Disney, probably Disney, Netflix, and Paramount. I mean, Peacock's is it really going to survive as a streaming service? I don't
I'll
know.
be honest with the only big thing that I watched on there was the WWE content. And now all of that is the pay-per-views or whatever you want to call them. They've already went to ESPN. And actually at the end of this month, the rest of the library is leaving Peacock, the back library, which
Okay.
I've read will be distributed through YouTube. So cool. I'm fine with that. But no, Peacock, Modern Family. I think I watched Modern Family on there, but it's few and far between. We'll occasionally throw on a kids movie, but it's not one we go to often. I get it for free through Xfinity Internet, so it's there. But
Right.
it's yeah. If I had
What
to
would you
pay
pay?
for it, no,
What would you?
no,
Okay, so and I had it last year because there was a deal for like $20 for a year, but now they're trying this year they tried to make you pay $80 I think for the year, and I was like, I'm not doing
yeah,
that because it just wasn't worth it. Only thing I watched on there I think was Twisted Metal, so wasn't really
yeah.
much for me. All right, so speaking of conglomerates and AI, Disney invests 100 billion in OpenAI, licensed their characters for use. This should be fun. What are we going to see poor Mickey do?
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to think about this. You would think. I sent our buddy Tuck a AI video of fucking Bob Barker huffing spray paint. I need to send it to you. It was hilarious. It was
I didn't see that one. I
there's
seen the one where he was. No, it was the Price is Right guy, Bob Barker, right? He
yeah.
was on the Price is Right, but it was Diddy, and he was saying he won like all this baby oil.
Oh, so I don't know if we'll be seeing anything like that.
Oh,
With
it's gonna be worse.
well, so my thing is with them investing the money and saying, "Here you go." I would think, I would like to
Guardrails.
think that I would like to think there's going to be some rules and regulations.
Guardrails. You think? Okay, maybe.
I maybe I. Then again, who knows? They might just be saying, "Here you go." Like I said, with them forking over the money,
Mhm.
there's got to be some guardrails for sure.
Maybe that's the point of it. Maybe they're trying to stop it because they don't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Trying to get
yeah,
ahead of the game because they know it's coming, or it's probably already out there. I'm sure. Honestly.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. All right. Again, we're staying on topic here. Time Magazine, Person of the Year, Architects of AI. Times Person of the Year, People of the Year.
Hard to
Uh,
disagree with it.
yeah. Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing this year, by far. I and like we just talked about, I mean, there's two sides of the fence. You're either very pro AI or very anti AI. I get both sides, but no, this is game changing. This was the first year that it really started to take over. Um, It's
I get both sides too. And look, and I understand that yes, some people will lose money, but look, they already said before AI was coming for jobs. They didn't mean just for like the blue collar jobs. I mean, or anything like that. It's just it's coming for a lot of different jobs. And so yes, will artists, people who like maybe do commissions and stuff, will some of them lose money? Absolutely, they probably already have. I mean, if you can do it for free, you're going to do it for free. But there's people like me who would never pay anybody anything like that anyway. I would just try to do it myself. So it's easier to make something cool, cooler than I can make probably.
yeah.
So there's people like that. I mean, I find it a useful tool. I mean, I'm not saying I'm all for it. I mean, I do think that there's reservations and stuff to be had, but I think it is creatively. I think you can use it to create stuff. I mean, you still have to think up what you're wanting to a degree. Maybe you're not making it, creating it, fashioning it in the hard work way, but you're still thinking it up if you're wanting something, right? Like when I think up um, our little thumbnails for our episodes, I mean, I have to think of, I'm creatively thinking of something, right? I'm making
Hmm.
it up. I'm just not drawing it out. So it's there. Music, you know, we talked about that the same way. Movies the same way. I mean, there are programs that are making videos and are going to make movies, and you know, and I have a movie that I've never been able to make. I've never been able to make because for budgetary reasons, for like just you know reasons where it would just be too complicated to do on an indie budget, on a very low budget, no budget kind of deal. So if that comes to fruition where it's very easy to do and it looks decent enough, I'll make that movie. You know, which I would never have made in the without because it's been
Right.
sitting there. It's on my IMDb page. You can see it right now. It's called The Non Gratis. It's a horror comedy musical, and it's been there for a long time. I've never been able to do it, but I would do it now. And like we talked about with the music, you know, these songs. I mean, fucking Scarlet Night is a banger, dude. That fucking it's that has been stuck in my head for a long for like all week, and honestly, and I have literally been listening to my music and your music all week long, like on
Yep.
on repeat when I'm driving for work, and so like literally, it's just like something that would not have happened
Yeah.
without this tool. So yeah, so yeah, you're right. I think that the architects of AI probably they are the ones. Again, it's not like AI is really new. It's just new to be rolled out to the public that we're able to use and implement and and oh man, I mean, I don't know if you like when it came out or when it was like readily available, you started trying to make like anything, and like a lot of times it wouldn't even be in English. Did you ever see it like that? Where it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to get a word and be like, that's not right, you know?
Hmm.
Like it's so much better now, you know.
Oh yeah.
And okay, certain ones there are certain AIs that are still behind and will still do that. I noticed, but like Chat GPT and a lot of the other ones, um, they're not gonna do that. They're pretty much gonna get what you want. Maybe not every time, but I'd say most time. Gemini Gemini says make sure it's right because it could be wrong, but it's usually right, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right, moving on. Jingle Bells is racist.
So what, I didn't even know what to say about this. What was the logic again? That
I'm not even sure. Joy Reid claims it's racist, something to do with its roots. I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, I just think, you know, why do we keep picking at shit like this? You know,
yeah.
like the baby, it's cold outside song. I mean, is it creepy, condescending? I guess, but I mean, if people like it, who gives a shit, right? Really? I don't know. I mean, like of all the things that we have going on and can, you know, uh, try to fight for or you know work toward, I just don't feel like this is important. You know, I mean, I grew up on the song. You probably grew up on the song.
Yeah.
Millions of people grew up on the song. I just feel like it's a happy song. It, it brings joy to people. Uh, why do we have to just label shit like that? You know.
I yeah. I don't even know. Um, there was probably a lot of songs that we like in different genres that were probably written by racist or written
Oh God, yeah,
like
absolutely.
I don't know written.
Well, first of all, everybody has their prejudices. I mean, there's some people on TV that claim otherwise and stuff like that. But I mean,
Mm,
yes, but I mean, people harken on Lovecraft. Lovecraft. He was a writer of Cthulhu stories and horror stories and stuff like that. Say, oh, he's a
mm,
racist guy. I mean, was he? Probably was, but he made some good shit. I don't know. I'm the one who can separate the art from the artist, generally speaking, most of the time. But yeah, I mean, guaranteed we've listened to all kinds of stuff that probably. I mean, people look. I mean, hell half of the movies I absolutely love was made by Dimension and Miramax back in the day, which was
mm,
the
mm.
Weinstein brothers. I mean, freaking
Yeah,
half of my catalog of the '90s is freaking. You know what I mean? So should I say, oh my God, I can never watch that again? I mean, that's
yeah.
that's wild.
Uh, Real quick, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Favorite Christmas song? I like the old Buck Owens. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. I like that country.
It's a good
I
one.
like that
Uh,
that one. And also there also is I think Mellencamp did the same one, but a little rocking version of it. I like that one. Which one you got?
yeah. There's two, either Jingle Bell Rock or Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Yeah,
Those
those
two
are
are really,
staples.
really good ones.
Yeah, there's some ICP ones.
There are some
There's
usually
some
around
ICP ones. Yeah.
usually around the 23rd or 24th. I'll throw on some Christmas music just because there are some bangers. Just catchy
Speaking of
little
Christmas,
songs.
speaking of Christmas music, they're pretty reckless. I think they just released an album maybe or a
I
song at
s-
least.
Yep,
Jimmy Kimmel, she was on Jimmy Kimmel recently. I was like,
I did see that.
yeah, pretty
Uh,
cool.
I'll have to send you one. Um, my girls watch. It's super simple songs. It's like kids songs, and they have a whole Christmas, uh, I guess, album or whatever. There's one called Milk and Cookies. I'll have to send you. It's
Okay,
fucking catchy, really catchy.
okay,
So it's become a modern favorite of mine.
yeah. All right, cool. All right, let's talk a little about some other politicrap. Uh, Plan would require some visitors to provide social media for up to last 5 years visiting the U.S.
I mean, kind of sounds like some North Korea, China shit to me. I don't, I don't know. I was talking to a guy at work about it, and we were kind of saying like, okay, like me, for instance, the only two forms of social media I have, I guess you would say, would be YouTube and Reddit. I got rid of my Facebook, got rid of Instagram, all that other stuff. So they're just going to go through my YouTube watch history, or they're going to go through my Reddit, what I'm
Search
subscribed to,
history.
like, or like I don't even know how that works. Like, how would
Yeah.
they?
Are
And
we
then
talking like a deep filtration system, like things you deleted? What are
yeah,
we talking about here?
yeah,
And this is all just what to like if something says anti-Trump, it's going to be declined. That's what we're looking for specifically, aren't we?
it's
Really?
yeah, it's kind of what it all boils down to usually. uh, so I don't get how, and I know we were talking before we clicked record. You know, it is a lot of political stuff around Trump and everything. But as we said early on, I mean, we're in some uncharted waters. Like this type of shit, like it makes you kind of do the dog head tilt. It's like, what?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I get, the whole secure borders thing.
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. But okay. On the flip side of this, there are deep cesspools of social media and the internet. 4chan, hell, even Twitter's got some wild ass segments of it.
Sure.
But if you're going and looking through people like that are right wing extremists, left wing extremists, what are extremists in general? Okay, I could see that being a good thing to weed those people out, keep them out of the country, maybe watch them. Fine, but I just find it hard to believe that's all they're looking for.
No, I don't think it is either. Look, the whole thing with social media accounts and everything. I mean, look, I've been over it for a long time too. I still have them all and everything, but most of it's just like to post things that nobody cares about, just like links to all the stuff that I do, you know. But as far as like actually interacting and using it for communication and like God forbid putting thoughts or ideas that I have on there, forget it.
Mm.
I haven't done it in a long time. You know, we our buddy Tuck, he got fired for a social media post way back in the day, right? So and there's been many people who that's happened to,
Yeah.
which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So for me, once all that stuff started happening, I knew I was like, I'm not posting shit, you know.
There was an instance. Tell a quick story. There was an instance. I think it was around 2012. I was working at a place in Smyrna, and I was to use a wrestling term. I was fixing to get a push. I was being very buddy with. It was the vice president of the company. This plant had a plant in here in Tennessee, and then I think up in Pennsylvania. They were wanting to move me up to a higher position and wanting me to like kiss the vice president's son's ass and all this stuff, and I didn't. And I had several people. I had the vice president's son, the plant manager on Facebook, and I posted some dumb shit. As you said, thoughts about, and I was going through a tumultuous relationship at the time, and probably posted shit on there that was none of anyone's business, and
Yeah.
that push, that interest in me quickly waned and stopped. So I don't know it for a fact, but that was one of the first little dominoes that fell, that I'm like, okay, Facebook is not that great. I need to be more careful about what I put out there.
Right.
So
No, I used to do it too. Not, I never was a big overshare. That's really not who I am. But if you look back, I mean, obviously I posted a bunch of shit, on Facebook and different places. Hell, even MySpace back in the day, you know. but yeah, there was a turning point where I just kind of saw culturally it just was not
yeah.
in the benefit to do that. Which and then that in turn sort of you get out of the algorithm of people because you're not really on there. They're not engaging with your posts and stuff like that. So you kind of lose it because it's meant for you to engage. Everybody just kind of circles back and forth. So once you don't do that, you stop that whole thing. And so I'm sure there's people that don't ever see anything I post because, I just don't do it very often anyway. Other than, again, if I put up a picture of the girls, it'll get likes. If I put up a picture, I don't put up anything else really other than, like I said, links to what we're doing, like a podcast or movies or something. But other than that, like I don't mess with it because I just don't I don't see the point of it anymore. It's very
yeah.
as the kids like to say, toxic.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
toxic. All right. Let's go to Epstein. Let's go to Epstein Island. Um, well, we got some different stuff. Not as of this recording, but here coming up next week, we're supposed to release the files. Yay! Go. For some reason, I'm not that excited. I don't know. Maybe you are. Not very excited personally, because why am I not excited? Oh, I don't know. They're going to be redacted to hell. FBI Snopes says FBI. This is true. FBI spent almost $1 million to have people redact the files. So,
Yeah.
are we going to get just straight lines? Is that what it's going to be?
Probably. There were some pictures that came out earlier this week
Yeah. Okay.
that had a lot more than I thought they would have. Pictures of Trump, pictures of Bill Gates, pictures of Steve Bannon,
Woody Allen, Bill Clinton.
Woody Allen, Bill Clinton. Yep. So I was like, okay, maybe they won't be redacted as much as I thought, because I would have never thought those would have seen the.
Yeah, but the difference with that is those were given by the estate and they were released by the Democratic committee, not the Republicans. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think what you're going to see is such a neutered copy that it's going to be just silly. But my thing with the photos is, why do you think that they released just so few? Because there's supposed to be like so many thousands of photos that they've gotten. Why did they just release a few there?
I mean, there is the possibility that there's a lot of pictures of fucking palm trees and beach chairs, because there was some of that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then there could be some heinous shit. We don't know. I don't.
There could be some heinous stuff. Yeah, it's true. But I mean, look, they're not being preferential. I mean, Bill Clinton's in there. It's not like the Democrats are saying let's you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Which I like. They're not saying let's. I mean, look, if he gets thrown under the bus, if he did some shit, throw him under the bus. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Look, it's not gonna go down the way we had hoped. They're probably going to get sued, but who knows if anything will ever come from it? Probably not. You know, because it's going to be it's just going to be. Well, any Democrat that has their name in there is going to be probably highlighted or something.
Oh yeah.
but anything else, it's just going to be black. I don't know. That's sad that we're not really going to get. I mean, I know we advocate. Everybody was like, release, but you're not going to get what you want. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. And that tells you that there's definitely incriminating stuff in there. If you had to pay almost $1 million to have this stuff redacted, I mean, the only thing that should be redacted is the victims, right? And that really literally the only thing. But you know that's not
it.
Yeah. Going back a couple of weeks ago, Trump on his Truth Social posting, he went on a binge one night, posted about 150 posts, tweets, whatever you want to call them, on his socials, maybe, going kind of wild. He seems to be, little up and down, little bipolar. maybe more manic, but.
Yeah, I mean that, and some of the actions recently, like we talked about last time. I don't know. Again, like, who does that? Like, I don't get it.
Yes, I mean, the slurs, the slander of all these different people that he's doing constantly is wild. Go ahead.
Well, and just the posting in general, over and over and over. It's just like a fucking middle school girl. Like,
this constant need for attention.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and you're the president, so people are going to take notice of anything you say, but you have to constantly do it, like all the time.
Yeah.
It's wild, you know. And this new thing with the gerrymandering of Indiana, where he's threatening to cut off funding for the state, and they're already a red state. What do you think about
Yep.
this?
Well, so I know they gerrymandered California or redistrict, but I mean it was
Right.
gerrymandered.
They did Texas first, and then
Yep.
California, and that leveled the playing field, I guess, to a degree, right? And now he wants to do more red states to make it even more slanted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where it stops because if Indiana does it, then probably there's going to be a blue state that does it. And it's
Sure.
just we're going to be right in the same boat we're already in. Your red states are going to be red states. Your blue states are going to stay. I mean, so what are we really doing?
Well, the goal is to try to get as many electives, right, as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That way, your side's always going to win. That's the goal. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, he's a little worried about the future. I don't know why, but anyway. Um, and there's more pardons and stuff these last couple weeks. I mean, that's feel like that's a constant thing still going on. I don't know. This is wild. Um, Pete Hegg says the the SS security of war and his war crimes. Tell me about it.
This is a story that I don't think they're going to get away from. They're blowing up boats. They're blowing up. They're making second attacks on survivors.
Yes.
We seized an oil tanker the other day. And to me, this is weapons of mass destruction all over again. We invaded Iraq for oil.
Mm-hmm.
We're fucking with Venezuela because of drug cartels. No, it's oil.
Minerals, yeah. Resources, right?
And I'm like, it's the same shit again. Like, what do we? And Venezuela is not Iraq. I mean, Iraq actually had nuclear capabilities. They had, I'm not going to a dictator. They had some reason probably for us to kind of put our nose in there. Maybe not to the degree we did, but to my knowledge, and maybe I'm off base, maybe I'm out of the loop on something, but I don't think Venezuela is that big of a threat. So
right.
I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but it's still just wild to me.
Well, it's all about conquering. You know, we are still a conquering nation, but we don't want to seem like a conquering nation. And as much as um, uh, all the stuff that's going on with Russia and Ukraine and everything, and how that looks and how that's we don't want to seem like Russia, but when it
Yeah.
comes to getting what we want, we are gonna take over some stuff,
Yeah.
And the same thing is happening with with Taiwan, and China. China wants Taiwan, and they're gonna eventually try to take it, right?
Yeah.
And why do we care? We don't care because we're just loving people who don't want to see people being taken over. We care because they import like all of our like chips and stuff like for
Yeah.
for computers and all that stuff. So it's a value to us is the big reason. So it's easy to see what the truth is, but I don't know when the government spends this stuff, some people just go, oh, okay, you said it, so
Yeah.
you can do no wrong. You will never lie to me, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to fathom someone trusting the government at this point in time. I mean, maybe if you are 18 or something, but if you've lived long enough to see all the things that the government has done and promised or lied to, or did all this sort of smoke screens about, like, why would you ever believe something like this? But I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, what can we really do about it, right? The government's going to do what the government's going to do, and unfortunately, other than voting them out, there's really nothing that can be done,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what can we do? We can protest, I guess, but there's not the war crimes. Especially when you're like you've blown up a boat, there's survivors, there's people still alive, and then you're ordering them to be killed. But you think it's not going to go away, but I don't think anything's going to happen to this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going. Now, will something happen to somebody because he was trying to say the other guy? Oh yeah, it was the other guy, but I stand beside it. I would have done the same thing, but he did it.
Yeah.
The deal. I don't think anything's going to happen to him. Somebody will probably get thrown under the bus, but
If it gets too far out of hand, yeah, somebody's going to take the fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not a good look for America, but there you go.
No.
Supreme Court lifting birthright citizenship, possibly.
This is kind of a low-key big one because, and I don't remember the exact quote. I think I've quoted it on here before, but the Constitution says any person born here has birthright citizenship, essentially. So it's going directly against the Constitution. Yeah, dude, that's a very concerning one, because if that goes through, then who does have right to be here?
Right. Yeah. At some point, you run out of people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the level that they go to, the extremities with all this regime is kind of wild. It's like, I understand the border control. I understand some of this stuff, even getting rid of some people that were obviously problems, criminals, stuff like that. But they take it all too far. But now we're saying, oh, yeah, I mean, there's people that come here, and that's the only way that they've created a family, and that's the way that literally. I mean, we all did this.
Mhm.
Our families all did this. So to say nobody can do it anymore, it's wild. It's wild.
Mhm.
It's definitely, especially when you're going against the Constitution. I mean, or what are they going to try and do? Make a new amendment? What are you doing, really?
Yeah.
As well. The lack of concern or care for any of the rules that we have with America that we've agreed to. The people who like to hold up rules. It's like, well,
Yeah.
and don't just pick and choose, okay?
Mhm.
Starting to sound like a Christian. Um, uh, okay, so Trump did this with the national parks. So apparently, like, you could get in free on Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Juneteenth, stuff like that. He says, no, you can't do that anymore. Forget that. Forget all these people. Forget all these dates. But you can get in free on my birthday, which is coincidentally Flag Day, the big holiday we all celebrate. Look, like I said earlier, we all have our prejudices. We all have certain things. I mean, look, there's nobody perfect, and anybody who says they are is a liar. Okay.
Mhm.
But have we ever had such a racist president? I'm not. Maybe we have, but have we ever had a just a forthright racist president ever?
I don't think so. And I mean, it's hard to keep saying that Well, what he really meant was, and what he really means is, no, I'm pretty sure I know what he means. So,
Right.
uh, yeah, I don't know, the whitewashing of trying to like, well, he's not racist or he's not the, come on, come on.
I heard that there were new quarters being made that they've been working on for a while with Frederick Douglass on, and other those that got canceled by him. Um, all these DEI programs, and I'm not saying DEI programs are, uh, that there's not some problems with them. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect system at all.
Right.
But at the same time, to just completely abolish them or tell people that if you do this, we're cutting off funds to you, that sort of stuff is wild. So again, could there have been ways to amend this to maybe try to get things better? There could have maybe been. He didn't want to look at any of that. He just wants to, again, like you said, whitewash it all. And yeah, he's it's pretty obvious, I think. Pretty obvious. Uh, well, let's talk about participation trophies. Participation trophies for the Peace Prize. We talked about this a few episodes back, how I was saying how he was just blatantly trying to get the Peace Prize, which, do you know why he tried to get the Peace Prize?
Because Obama got one?
Yes! Everybody says yes! Absolutely. Absolutely. He hates Obama, and he's very competitive with Obama, let's face it. And that's the only reason he wanted that in his little repertoire. He wanted to say, huh, I did that too. Absolutely. That's the only reason. And so a lot of his motivations for certain things, especially I think foreign wars, had to do with just getting that fucking prize, and that's it. That's my opinion, personally.
Yeah.
But he didn't get it, whined like a baby, and so these people that the FIFA was like, here you go, here's your prize. What do we think about this?
It was hilarious. Just him looking at it, picking it up, and just like, I mean, it looked like an SNL skit. I don't know. It's getting harder and harder to just like put words to this, because the fuck are we doing? I don't like. It's a made up fucking prize.
Exactly. The people willing to kiss his ass is astounding to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. But good for him, I guess. I don't know. He got a Peace Prize in relation.
I did it, Ma. I did it.
Yeah.
But now he actually did not get the intergalactical most peaceful person of the planet Earth prize. That was Gavin Newsom, who trolled him hard with his big fucking peace medal that he had, which I thought was hilarious. He's trolling him pretty hard. Gavin is. I know you say he's got some darkness to him, but he is funny. He is funny. What he
is.
At least he can throw a little bit back to him. Did you see the video with them handcuffs and everything?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's him, Steve Miller, and who's the other one? I can't remember. It might be Vance. I don't know. There's three of them. They're handcuffed and shit. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot of it. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Cash Patel, FBI guy, in trouble a little bit for having security guys drive his girlfriend home, or drive his girlfriend somewhere, but also apparently has security detail on his girlfriend. What do you think of it? He's dating some country singer from Nashville, or I don't know if she's from Nashville, but that's where they met, I think. Some country singer, up and coming, maybe. I don't know her personally, but do you think this is a good use of government resources here?
Um, Probably not, but uh, now to be fair, I mean, this probably isn't the first time this has happened. I'm sure that they've got, maybe it is. I don't know, but
They
I feel
haven't.
like,
Yeah, it may not.
but uh, it's not a good look, certainly. So, um, if I mean, what's he worried about? I mean, yeah, I mean, if he was dating Taylor Swift or some shit, I could understand it, but I don't know,
Well,
like,
I mean, they're just dating. He's not his wife. I don't feel
yeah,
like it's a national security threat necessarily. I
yeah.
mean, does he think that she's going to be taken hostage or something? I don't know exactly. Uh, Pretty wild, but yeah, not exactly probably the proper use of the FBI, I would think, or the Secret Service. Um, yeah. So, reclassification of marijuana as a Schedule 3 drug. What you got?
I'm hoping this happens. This would be uh, a decent thing. I think it would put it. Oh, I should have had my notes pulled up. Um, it wouldn't legalize it, but it would put it in a different category where I think if you got caught with it, it would be the punishment would be way less, is essentially what it means. I forget what class of drugs it puts it in at Schedule 3,
It says like
but
painkillers or something like that, or something,
yeah.
like being caught with a lot of that or something. So, yeah.
Um, no, I hope it happens. I also did see where they've already put together a bill or working on a bill to redact the hemp restrictions. So I'm
Really?
hoping, yeah, I'm hoping they keep pushing on that. The more we can just progress toward legal marijuana, legal hemp, whatever you want to say it, uh, I think it's a good thing. And if hell, if the country's going to be fucked up the next 3 years, you might as well be stoned. So
You might have to be
you
to
might
get
have to
through
be. So
it.
if that's the silver lining in amongst all this chaos, then I'm all for it.
Mm. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's going to be a little hard to probably redact it because I'm assuming there's a certain party wanting to and a certain party that don't. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. But of course, the midterms are coming up, so some things could change after that. We'll see. That's all I got for you. You got anything else?
Uh, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't know.
All right. All right. Well, we'll let it go until another 2 weeks. Hopefully, we can get Matt back at that point and talk to him about some AI music. I'm sure he'll love to hear what we have to say.
I think when we record again, we'll have some more Stranger Things to talk about. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
so that,
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah.
I was going to tell you, speaking of like political stuff, which we weren't right then at all. Um, I watched, I rewatched Death Wish the other day. Have you ever seen that movie, the old Charles Bronson movie?
I have, but it's been years,
Yeah,
years.
yeah. I watched it. It's been a while since I've seen it too, but I was watching it and and it's funny. It's like what was it? Like it was the '70s, right?
Hmm.
And somebody calls him a bleeding heart liberal. He calls him a bleeding heart liberal, and he's like, "Oh, you gonna make fun of me? Make fun of me? Tell me I'm a freak because I like my guns and stuff." And um, what was the other? There was something else too. It was very topical at the time. It's like things just don't really change that much, you know?
Hmm.
It's like you think that all this stuff is new, but it really isn't that new at
Yeah.
all. And if it was maybe not as prominent when we were younger, we probably just weren't paying attention, or either that, or it just wasn't in the avenues that we went down. But I think it's just always been there, you know,
Yeah.
to a degree, So yeah, but I thought that was funny. I was like, man, this thing could have been released today.
Yeah.
It's funny. All right, man. Till next time. Peace.
All right. See ya.
Crackling news on the old truck radio, preacher's voice, then a talk show blowing smoke. Neighbors fighting on the Facebook feed, saying more than they ever would in the street. There's small town static in the air tonight, buzzing like a fly on a neon light. I miss the hush of a front porch swing, back when silence still meant something. Can't hear the crickets for the satellite. There's too much noise in this quiet life, trying to tune it out.